Welcome everybody back to the channel. Today Yellow Fox Body Guy becomes Dark Blue Ultima Guy. Because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And I got my mama right here. She called me and said that her battery light came on and her e-brake light came on. I'm thinking two things. I said, sounds like you either threw a belt or your alternator's going bad. Cool thing is, right around the corner from the house where we bought the car, those guys had a motor sitting there. They had just pulled out of a car, a good motor. He said, take that alternator and go check it. So here we are. When I got here, I looked. First thing I see is the pulley. There's no belt on it. So we're going to do that. But here's what I want to talk with you about. Just so you'll know, if you're a newbie at this, I know a lot of the younger millennial crowd will say that. If you don't know what it's like when an alternator goes out, unlike my last week, mine on my Mustang went out, you know, and there's a couple videos on me changing that out. But if you don't know, especially on the Mustangs, I'll tell you what happened on mine. I was driving my Mustang one time and the light started flashing. Then it just kept getting dimmer and dimmer. My radio started going on and off. Then it eventually quit and then the car cuts off. Now, the reason that happens is because your alternator's no longer charging and your car is using all the power out of the battery until the battery's completely depleted. That means there's none. So that's how you diagnose it, and it pretty much goes for any car. Because I asked her, I said, well, did the air conditioner work? She says, I don't remember. And I said, well, she said, it's hard to turn. I said, well, if it's hard to turn, that means the power steering pump probably don't have a belt on it. So, you know, that's one way or the other. And I went ahead and grabbed an alternator just because I knew those guys would have one. But, and they were going to give me that alternator for free, so God was blessing either way. I'm going to go to YouTube, where you're at right now. I'm going to go there and see what it's going to take to change out the belt. Hopefully it ain't that bad. I've never done an Ultima, but got to keep mama happy, right? Because she can cook good and I get hungry a lot. So picked up a belt. As you can see, there's no room to get your hand or to maneuver the belt. It is a tight fit in these front wheel drive cars. So Fox body for the win on that, because everybody knows the 5.0 Mustangs, anything basically rear wheel drive, you've got all your belts are up front and you can usually get to them. They leave you a little more room. On this one you have to take the wheel off and pop the inner fender out, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You should know how to change a wheel, so I'm not going to bore you with the details. Yeah, we're going to get this wheel off. You call this literally Shadetree Mechanic, because it is 107 with the heat index today here in North Kakalaki. So I am definitely a Shadetree Mechanic today. I'd rather do it out here in the driveway than in the shop, because where I'd have to do it at, the sun be right on me and the air ain't moving inside the shop. And somebody remind me before this video's over to tighten the lug nuts when I put it back on the ground.
Yes. I'll remind you.
Come close. There's 5, 6 little plastic fasteners that hold the inner fender on. And that'll be that. Almost got the last one out. Oops, sucker, I ain't gonna bite him. Oh man, it just came off that one. I gotta have it on that and down there first. Yeah. All right. I think it was a little booger bear. It weren't too bad. You can see it goes here. 14 millimeter. If anybody ever does a 07 to 11 Ultima maybe, or anything with the 2.5, it's probably going to be the same belt on all of them. But a little tensioner pull is right there. It's a 14 millimeter. Pull that over. Once you get out, I've got the belt. It's in all the grooves, lined up correctly. Everything's there. We're going to put the wheel back on and check it out. But here, shout out to Daco. Their belt has several different, this belt works on, looks like 7 different setups, and there's the Nissan. As you can see, you can't hardly read it, but that's the setup I got. It was fun reaching all up in there.
Yep.
Alright, what we did was, before we lowered it down, I had to crank the car, get it on the jack stands, and it's still on there of course, but we did that and make sure the belt weren't throwing around, make sure it weren't idler pulley bad. I checked all the idler pulleys. You got to check that too, because if you're throwing a belt, sometimes there's a reason to throw a belt, but based off the age of hers, I think it was the factory belt. So that thing was 10 years old and 100 and whatever thousand miles on it. But we checked, everything looked good. All of our lights were off on the dash. So we're good to go. We're going to put the wheel back on. We are going to tighten the lug nuts now, and when we get it on the ground, I'm going to do an extra little bit. All right, thanks guys for watching. I'm going to put my baby up in the shop. Like and subscribe, tell your friends all about it. I'm just an average guy with a decently average car, trying to do the best I can with what I've got. God bless y'all.